Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors are Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today, and this is an update coming from Birmingham, and the police's clampdown on gangs and gang violence. Police have released a statement to say 150 police officers took part in early morning raids in Birmingham against organised crime gangs. They go on to say that it's one of the biggest operations in recent history, and the operation hit 10 addresses on the 20th of October in the east of Birmingham. 11 men aged between 16 and 36 have been arrested. The police say this is linked to organised crime, and the action follows a series of violent incidents between rival drug gangs that include assaults, stabbings and shootings. In one incident, 2 men suffered gunshot wounds to their arms, while a third received slash wounds that resulted in the amputation of 2 fingers. They go on to say the violence was connected to a fight on Denbeigh Street, Bordesley Green on the 25th of September. The suspects arrested today were held on suspicion of conspiracy to supply Class A drugs, heroin and crack cocaine. And these raids took place in Bordesley Green and the Sparkhill area of the city. They said the investigation into a gang that has previously seized hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of drugs that were recovered from an address in Oakwood Road, Sparkhill, back in May after a response to disorder, and 1 man had been stabbed. In today's raids, they've said they've seized hundreds of pounds worth of drugs and 10 grand in cash, and all suspects are in police custody awaiting questioning. Detective Inspector Al Teague described the action as a major strike against violent gangs in the city, and it's a really significant operation that has effectively brought down or at least severely damaged an organised crime gang. Since then raids, police have done more raids on county lines, and they said between the week of the 11th and 17th of October, they hit homes that were suspected were growing cannabis and selling crack cocaine and heroin.
Understand English? No. You okay? Anyone else in the house? Please! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Stay where you are! Go. Stay where you are!
Get out of bed. Get out of bed. Yep. It's right there, mate. Yep. Get down! Jump down!
Stay there, do not move!
Stay there!
Don't get tased on you! Stay where you are!
Red dotted, stay where you are!
Stop moving!
Quick!
Get down on bed! Okay, chill out now.
Plug your gear.
Stay down!
Police, come down.
Officers with taser, come down! Why are you looking? Oh dear.
They said they've arrested 143 people and 630 wraps of Class A drugs, and 3,500 cannabis plants have been seized, and weapons that include firearms and also 30 knives and machetes have also been taken off the street. West Midlands Police worked with Warwickshire Police, West Mercia and Staffordshire Police in a cross-border operation that recovered £30,000 in cash and dozens of burner phones suspected of being used to sell drugs. Superintendent Wendy Bailey, who led the County Lines operation, said, "These gangs are ruthless and use people as commodities, coercing or threatening them to deal drugs on their behalf. It's not rare for people to use children to attack rival gang members." Because police are definitely focusing on county lines and modern slavery involving children. This was shown in a recent story that I covered on TikTok that has got nearly 500,000 views, where police took down a county lines operation after a taxi driver called Shahid Iqbal recorded himself on dashcam discussing the movement of children. They used the taxi to move the drugs and vulnerable people into Derby and back to London as well. It showed Iqbal explaining to young teenage boys what they was expected to do and the drugs that they was going to sell. As the gang moved drugs into the Stockbrook area, officers from the specialist team tackling county lines began their investigation into the Marlow line and became aware that Iqbal's taxi was being used to run drugs into the city.
Which has been given.
Man, this guy's just stupid, man. Nah. This is not the cats, that's the guy. I've just sent him down in a cab, bro. He landed in Derby train station.
Yeah.
40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I thought he was at the house now. I've sent so many customers to the house now, yeah? He stood at the fucking train station now.
Tell him to catch your taxi and go to St David's.
That's what I'm trying to say to bro, this is what I'm trying to say. He said to me, yeah, he called a cab, they're taking a and listen to this, you know Derby train station? Across from Derby train station there's a taxi firm.
The yellow, what?
And the yellow cab.
Across the road?
Across the road. You know what I'm trying to say, fam?
Hey, man.
He is so stupid, I swear to God.
Same one?
Same one, he's going down. Tomorrow, he's going. I'm gonna have to try to find a new one.
Man. Where's the original ones?
They can only work like 2 days, 3 days. I need someone that can work a week. It's the dumbest dude I've ever had up there, so down.
I can see it from the start as well, you know.
And you feel sorry for him, listen, you feel sorry for him, yeah?
The way they continue to talk about this person is they say, you know what, he doesn't know what he's doing, I'm going to drop him, I'm going to get someone else, I'm going to replace him, and I'm going to sort it out. And I think that's something that is really key, that when, you know, that these drugs gangs are recruiting people, you know, you talk about it as grooming, and it is that. They're going to go out and they're going to promise you this, they're going to promise you respect, they're going to promise you money, they're going to promise you all the things that they...
So it's these sorts of cases that have definitely put the police onto the trail of county lines and modern slavery and the risks that people are taking when they're using children to sell drugs. In this other case that the police have written a statement on today, a county lines gang has been jailed for a £250,000 operation from Coventry into the streets of tourist towns. The group operated throughout COVID lockdown from January 2019 to July last year, and they believe they've supplied 2.5 kilos of crack and heroin in Stratford and Royal Leamington Spa. They found hundreds of marketing messages sent to users from the drug phone and others saying, "Come and get your tackle, it's still in stock, best of both." Levi Merson from Coventry ran the drug line, they said, and used the brand name Kano and CJ, and he exploited addicts to run the drugs, carrying out the street deals and also cuckooed houses, which means when they take over vulnerable people's homes to sell drugs. Jordan Hill, 31 years old, was another member of the gang who managed the deliveries and took orders for the county lines. Other members were 20-year-old Paul Walker and Pollard Merson's brother as well, helped out in storing drugs in Coventry. Lewis Kerr acted as transport and muscle for the group, as well as looking to expand the drug line into Rugby. Kieran Hill from Coventry and Neil DeMose, Hassim Makalo, Gary Brown and 36-year-old Amy Lamb all acted as drug runners. And 4 of them admitted conspiracy to supply crack cocaine and heroin, and Walker from Coventry as well and Kerr were found guilty after trial. Brown is serving 6 years for a drug supply sentence and he will serve 8 years for the second round. The investigation was run by the Regional Organised Crime Unit by West Midlands Police alongside police officers from Warwick Police, and the ROCU detective Julie Wood said this was a classic county lines operation where Pollard Merson was in charge from a distance, making up to £1,500 a day and using others to make threats of violence to maintain the reputation. They found nearly 1,000 wraps of crack cocaine and 10 grand in cash during the raids for this operation. And in some other news coming from ROCU, which are the Regional Organised Crime Unit, Nigel Collins has been jailed after they arrested him in an operation when they received reports that he was handling firearms. They raided a home in the Winson Green area and he was seen fleeing the house and threw an Armani bag in desperation over a fence. He said it contained a small amount of cannabis, but police recovered a revolver with 3 bullets in the chamber and a further 3 in white latex gloves. The early morning raid on the 8th of September this year was a culmination of Regional Organised Crime Unit information alongside West Midlands Police. He was on licence at the time and had been jailed for 9 years for robbery in 2014 and had links to firearms when he was arrested in Winson Green. The 33-year-old has now been jailed for 5 years and 4 months, and Detective Inspector Martin Brown said, "This is another case of body-worn cameras creating irrefutable evidence to link somebody to gun crime."
Show me your hands! Show me your hands! All police, right? Watch them, go on the floor! Right, do as I say. Listen to me. What's your name? Nigel. Your hands in the small of your back, do it now. You threw something over that side. Okay. Onto the roof or? Just over that side. Nigel, what was it you threw, mate?
Nothing. Weed.
Hey?
Do some weed.
Alright, because it was on camera, alright, mate.
Yeah, is this it? Like a little man bag. I think we've located it. Garden.
Yeah.
2 over. Behind the trampoline, it's in a little black Giorgio Armani bag.
And this last story is really interesting as well. They found nearly 15 kilos of cocaine in the possession of one man. Keith Chamberlain is 63 years old and he made an illegal U-turn in Chestnut Road and he was stopped by the police last year. Police found 6 kilos of cocaine inside his car. And when they raided his house, they found another 8. Officers searched his black Vauxhall Zafira and found 5 kilograms in a bag for life and another kilogram in the boot. He was arrested and they found 3 mobile phones and a sat-nav that they recovered from the car. After raiding his address in Acox Green, they found a block of cocaine in a drawer and a further 6 blocks in a blue suitcase. The 14 blocks were valued at nearly £500,000, and Chamberlain from Woodcock Lane pled guilty to possession with intent to supply and was jailed at Wolverhampton Crown Court on the 19th of October for 6 years and 5 months. DCI Leanne Lowe from the Regional Organised Crime Unit said he was handling large amounts of Class A drugs and this drug can destroy lives and fuels further crime. Thanks to the officers we were able to take this cocaine off the streets and we will continue to actively try to take drug dealers off the streets in the coming months. So it's definitely been an eventful few days on the streets of Birmingham and the West Midlands as well. And I really appreciate you joining me and all your support on social media. Please don't forget to follow me online as well at Scarcity Studios, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news. Peace.